When they went there,
Yumi, my name is Shamsi. What's your name? Jacob, my name is Shamsi. Yeah? Are you ready? Alright. So what Christian are you? Basically, as a Muslims, we believe in Jesus, correct?
Yeah,
we
as
believe,
a prophet.
yeah, as a prophet, mighty messenger. We used to bring dead people to life by God's permission.
Yeah.
We believe all of that. Okay? However, we don't believe to be God.
Yeah.
Do you believe he's God? Jesus?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Christian, but more kind of agnostic Christian.
Okay.
More like,
So you don't believe Jesus to be God 100%?
I mean, I think so.
No, because I'll give you an example. You and I, we know that God knows everything all the time.
Yeah.
He's the all-knowing,
Yeah.
the creator
God is
of them.
omnipresent, yeah.
Yes, of course. So if Jesus is God, by default, he has to know everything, correct?
Well, I mean, so Jesus, like, it's like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, God, all. It's like a. Yeah, so Jesus knows everything.
Yeah, if he's God, of course.
Jesus is God, Jesus knows everything.
That's what I'm saying, my point. But if you look at the Bible, when you go to Mark 13:32, Jesus clearly said no one knows the day and the hour, not even the angels in the heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So according to Jesus, he doesn't know everything. That's why as a Muslim we said, you know what Jesus said there, it makes sense. You know why? Because Prophet Muhammad mentioned, Allah mentioned the Quran to Prophet Muhammad. They ask about the hour, day of judgment, say to them no one knows except Allah. So Jesus' statement and the Prophet Muhammad's statement goes in line with each other. That both of them say only God knows the hour. Also that, logically speaking, God doesn't have God. Correct?
God doesn't have what?
Doesn't have God.
Yeah.
Yeah, God is a God. Yeah.
Okay.
So if Jesus is God, therefore he should have no God above him.
See, that's a question I can't answer, and a more devout Christian who knows
you can look
Scripture
into
will
it.
have to answer.
Yeah, look
because the general belief of Christianity is that it's God, Jesus, Holy Spirit.
Trinity.
They're all Trinity,
Yes,
right? They're all like
you're
the
right.
same thing somehow. They're different somehow, but they're also the same thing somehow. So if there's discrepancies in what Jesus is saying, I'm sure someone better than I could argue that away.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Jesus saying that. I'm saying you can do your own research. You can bring anyone. I mean, I've been speaking to Christians for many years.
Yeah.
I mean, this question, the answer they have, and you can look it up as well, yeah? They say, no, Jesus was God and a man at the same time. So when Jesus said, I'm going to my God, he was speaking as a man, not as God, correct?
Okay.
But the problem that they have, that they say Jesus is God, the Father is God, and the Holy Spirit is God.
Yeah.
So Jesus as God, even Jesus as God, Jesus as human, he never referred to himself as Jesus, God. He always referred to the God, to the Father.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, that even that question does not have them. So my point is that's what Islam makes sense and simple. That when you look and analyze all the prophets and messengers that came to call people to worship one God, all of them refer people to worship one God alone and to follow the prophet of their time. You see what I'm saying? So Moses, same thing. Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, Ishmael, Jeremiah, Daniel, and so on. Then Jesus, then Prophet Muhammad. But somehow, according to the Christians, Jesus stands out because none of the prophets and messengers before Jesus in the Old Testament claim or called people to worship Trinity. None of them. Then Jesus somehow, according to the Christians again, not to us, said there is Trinity. Then who come after him? Prophet Muhammad said worship one God. So logic dictates if there's any false prophet in this line, must be Jesus. Because Prophet Muhammad, his teaching goes in line with the previous prophets and messengers. But we say none of them is a false prophet because Jesus never said that. Those who are saying that about him, Mark, Luke, John, Matthew, will never met Jesus.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So for example, we know there's a purpose in this life, correct?
There's what?
Purpose.
Yeah.
Every part of your body has a purpose. You understand?
Yeah.
What about our souls? Like one day we have to live this life. We're going to die and meet our Creator. We know our Creator already told us this life is a test, meaning that do something to pass the test. Don't stay here forever. So what I'm saying, there is one way to God, and it cannot be all of them, Judaism and Christianity and Islam, because Christianity says Islam is wrong because such and such. Islam say Christianity is wrong because such and such. And the same thing goes with the Judaism.
Yeah.
So I'm saying we should study and look and analyze. Islam tell you worship one God. Why you worship God? Because God gave you life. God gave you many things. For example, I always mention this example because it's a powerful example. that if I give you £2 million as a gift, I say, you know what, I really like you, you're a good guy, here, £2 million, go away with it, do whatever you like. What would you say to me at least?
Thanks.
Thank you. Would you remember me all the time?
Yeah,
£2 million, you see what I'm saying?
that's
Nice
a lot
car,
of money,
you know what I mean? Nice car in Los Angeles, you see what I'm saying? So now listen to this. I will give you £2 million on the condition give me your 2 eyes. Would you do that?
No.
Because your 2 eyes is more valuable than £2 million. What about the one who gave you 2 eyes for free? Why don't you thank him and remember him all the time?
I don't know. Probably I'm just.
We're too busy with life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Look to the blessing that we have. That's why one man came to Muslim scholar and he was complaining that I'm poor, I don't have money. He said, no, you're not poor. He said, let me show you. Give me your kidney, I will give you £10 million. He said, no. Give me your heart, no. Give me your arm, no. He said, you're rich, but you don't realize it, what God has given us.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, that we know we should appreciate the Creator.
Yeah.
The second thing, how? If you want to buy a gift, would you buy a gift? If you want to buy a gift for your friend, would you buy a gift that your friend love or you love?
well, my friend likes.
No. So now logic dictates, if you want to worship the Creator, you should worship him the way he loves, not the way you love, correct?
Yeah.
That's why the Creator sent the prophets and messengers to show us the correct way. And the last of them is the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah. Okay.
You should read about him because the fact that is over 1 billion people are following him and loving him must be something special about
Well, I
him.
mean, there must be something special about Jesus too. By that law,
Without
every-
doubt.
that's what we
That's- We accept that, man.
Okay.
We accept that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So what you're trying to do here is trying to logic your way into
Islam is the truth,
right?
Yes.
Okay, what if one says books are man-made objects, they're really kind of finicky, right? They change a lot.
Okay.
So people can stand and argue about what their text says specifically about certain things all day, but there's a good chance that all of us might be slightly wrong. Because books and the written word can change over time. The Bible has changed over time, many mistranslations. Quran, I'm sure, has.
No, it hasn't.
Okay, okay, that's what you guys. Okay. But that's what I think.
I'll tell you
Books
something.
in general, but written by man, can be edited, slightly changed
Of
over
course.
time. So there is a possibility that we are all slightly wrong. in
No,
certain aspects.
I'll tell you, if we establish there is a Creator and there is a purpose of our life, therefore logic dictates because we can see the wisdom of the Creator within our souls. For example, I always mention this, you have a teeth in your mouth, you don't have a teeth in your eyes. Why? Because you eat with your mouth. You right?
Oh yeah, I just my friends.
Okay. You have a nose next to your mouth. Before you eat, you smell food. You see what I'm saying? You have a joint in your elbows in order to move your forearm, to utilize them, to eat, to take, and to give.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's what Allah said in the Quran. Allah said, reflect upon your own creation. You see what I'm saying? If the Creator is the most wise, which is He is without any doubt, therefore He must tell us the truth, and He must clarify the truth to us.
Yeah.
So one of the religion must be the truth. It can't be none of them. Because why? That go against the wisdom of the Creator.
Yeah.
Make sense?
So there is truth. So then you think there is truth somewhere?
Yes.
God created truth somewhere.
There is absolute truth
There is
somewhere.
absolute truth somewhere.
Yes. Which is
But-
Islam, I believe.
Which is what you believe, right?
I'll tell you why.
And
I'll tell you why.
yeah, okay.
I'll tell
So
you
tell me
why.
why.
Now let us analyze something, yeah? Prophet Muhammad, why we believe Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet, yeah? Because when you look to Prophet Muhammad, let me ask you, who knows the future?
God, I guess.
Huh?
God?
Of course, because
Yeah.
now if I want to make the watch, I have to have a knowledge how to make it
Yeah.
fully. So no one knows about it in details, in, out, except me.
Yeah.
Because I made it from scratch. Logic dictates if the Creator made this universe, therefore He possessed knowledge how to make it beforehand. And He has a full knowledge about it. So it's correct. The Creator knows the future in details. Now Prophet Muhammad, one of the ways to establish Prophet Muhammad as a true prophet, the prophecies that he came with. For example, Prophet Muhammad said there will come a time when the Arab Peninsula, you know, is the Arab Peninsula? Saudi, Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai, okay. This is called Arab Peninsula. He said there will come a time when the Arab Peninsula will turn to rivers and gardens. The Arab Peninsula 50 years ago was a pure desert, let alone 1400 years ago. Now if you go to Dubai and Qatar, clearly you see rivers, you see what? You see gardens and so on. So the question you ask yourself, how this man, not randomly, specifically, precisely about specific place that were not known for them to be what? To have gardens and rivers and so on. He prophesied, one of them. The second one he said, you see the Arab, the barefoot Arab man, they start competing in building tall buildings. So when Prophet Muhammad mentioned that, alayhi salatu wasalam, 1400 years ago, the Arabs were not known to do that. they also were known, the Persians and the Romans and the Egyptians and the Greeks. So there was no any indication in the Arabs to indicate they would do that. Let me ask you, maybe you know, maybe you do not know. Where is the tallest building in the world?
It might have changed, but Burj Khalifa used to be it.
You know who's competing with them now? Saudi. So the point here is how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ knew that the Arabs are competing. And never about the Quran, because you asked about the Quran.
Okay, let me interrupt real quick. Okay, so prophecies that Prophet Muhammad said, they came true. Okay.
Without any doubt.
So maybe those parts are true, are correct.
Yeah.
Maybe other parts.
No, all of them. The one he mentioned, all of them except those who meant, because he categorized.
Yeah.
There is a minor signs and a major one. Minor one, I will have no problem saying 85% of them has occurred.
Okay.
If this is the case, 85%, listen, people sometimes they do give a prediction, but 85% specifically, precisely, in details, and it's taking place without any doubt.
Remember the prophecy isn't like it's going to rain next week.
Yeah.
It's very.
Or Mashi says it's going to win.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
That will happen eventually. But to say something like there will come a time when the barefooted Arab man, they will compete in building tall buildings.
And they're doing it.
They were thinking we're poor. How's that going to happen?
Even the Quran, look, the Quran, yeah? You know how the Quran, first of all, in the Quran, when it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, there is what? Encouragement. And Allah commanded us to memorize the Quran. So the Muslims at the time of Prophet Muhammad, they would sacrifice their life, they sacrifice their wealth for the Quran. So the Quran was memorized and preserved in the people's breast, yeah? I asked this question to many people. Maybe you know the answer. Do you know any book the size of the Quran? It has been memorized by 100 million of people who does not speak the language of the book itself.
Okay.
Do you know any book like that?
No.
It's like you and me and the brother here will memorize a book in Arabic language, but we don't know Arabic language at all. Doesn't occur. Let alone 100 million of people know they memorized it letter by letter, word by word. And you know what? In that book, 1400 years ago, Allah mentioned the Quran. Allah said, we have made the Quran easy for people to memorize it. That is not a statement of a human being. That is a statement of the creator of the universe who knows that will occur. And it's occurring right now front of our eyes. That the Muslim Chinese, Japanese Muslims, Chinese Muslims, Japanese Muslims, Asian, African, memorize the Quran Arabic language, but they don't know Arabic language.
Okay.
What do you think of all that stuff they told you so far?
That's all. Those are good points. And maybe you are right.
Of course, I am right, inshallah.
I know,
Inshallah, I'm sure. I'm right.
Yeah,
So
and everything you told me makes logical sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Will can I
That's why
believe that?
Islam, you know what?
I
Study.
don't know.
That's why Islam goes in line with that fitrah.
That's why, it's a good point. One of the miracles of Islam, one scholar mentioned, he said with the biggest miracles of the Quran, that Islam goes in line with a sound intellect and natural inclination and a sound intellect. Like logical, I should worship one God. Like before someone teach you about Trinity, you knew within yourself, I should appreciate my Creator. I should be grateful to my Creator. But you come to Christianity, Trinity, Jesus the Father. But when you come to Islam, what is within you already is in the Quran. I will give you another one, which me, I don't really like to use science too much. Why? Because science changes, yeah? But something which is well established. They will study done in Oxford University. They spent on this study 1.9 million. This project took them 3 years. What is the origin of human being? Is it to believe in God or is it to believe in God? So they took children from different parts of the world and they come to the conclusion children are naturally born to believe in the Creator. Guess what? Prophet Muhammad mentioned that 1400 years ago. He said every child is born to believe with a natural inclination, meaning to believe in the Creator.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
So what I'm saying, that is overwhelming proof to show Islam is the truth. And in the Quran, Allah said that many enemies of Islam will try to stop Islam to spread, and Allah will spread Islam. The fastest growing religion on earth is Islam. Who's doing the job? Not us, it's the Creator, because this kingdom belongs to Him. Even though ISIS are blocking people from accepting Islam, that likewise the media focus on using other than them. There is a big media, big war against Islam, but many people accept Islam. But guess what? They say Islam oppress women. In Britain, most of women that accept Islam, they study Islam, 70? 70% are women, reverts, yeah? But you know what they do? They study about Islam 5 years before they accept it. Because why? You are waging a war against the Creator. And as a Muslim, I'm not just a blind follower. I was born Muslim, no. I have a tangible proof I can share with you, share with everyone, to show you Islam is the truth.
Okay, and I respect your knowledge of your religion, and that's really cool, and everything you've said to me makes logical sense. And I do believe that you 100% believe what you believe, right?
Of course, because with the tangible proofs.
And I'm not a super religious person.
Okay.
And I don't know my own scripture that I say I believe. So I'm not the person to be able to argue with you on like the points.
But you are a logical person.
Yeah, and everything you've said makes sense. Yeah. So perhaps you are right. But I also know that someone, maybe not someone here, but someone could come here and argue with you all these points you just said based on their text, based on your text, and you guys could have a much longer, more intense conversation.
But you know, it's not about arguing. I'm saying,
wrong,
that's true. Yeah, you do. Also, I said I can bring you people now. They don't, if you tell them what we're doing here is real, they will argue with you it's not real. You know the people of what they call them?
Philosophy.
No, the people figure it's illusion. Illusionists. Illusionists say they know. Doesn't mean because they're arguing with me, therefore I'm saying it's wrong. I'm saying like the brother said here, if it makes sense to you, is it clear to you? Maybe remember you want to worship your Creator. Okay. And one day you have to live this life.
Here's my thinking, right? I don't really use logic in my religious life. That's just like me saying what I do. And I know fellow, agnostic Christians who say they're Christian because they're, born Christian, whatever. But we probably read the Bible like maybe a little bit of it, a little bit. But like religion is just not that important part of our life, and so we just kind of say we're Christian.
That's it, especially in America.
Exactly, that's the culture.
Because I was telling the brother, it's true. What they are pushing that, you know what is the most important thing in your life? To pay the bills, to pay rent, to watch a nice movie, to buy a nice car. But it's not, because why? The fact that it's not so important, when you live this life, none of them will come with you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that. So as like a spiritual person, I do agree with you.
But what I'll tell you, I can see you're a smart guy, yeah? Let me ask a question. Imagine you're traveling to, have you been to Algeria or Morocco?
No.
Have you been to Morocco?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, if you want to go to Morocco as a wise man, intelligent man, and you don't know nothing about Morocco, what would you do first? You study first. Okay, you do research. Which currency they use? Is it safe country? Is it cold country? Do you know what the foolish men do? The foolish men say, you know what? When I get there, I will come to know. But guess what? When you get there, it's a dangerous country and they kill him. So as a wise man, I give you about Islam, explain to you. Don't just take it as just pure information, data. No, go and do research. Why I have to die? It's true. Where I'm gonna go? What will happen to me? What my Creator will with me? Is that fair?
I think people come to that moment in their lives at various times.
But before it's too late, everyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's
what Allah said in the Quran. So to cut you, and I really like speaking to you because you are a very intelligent person. Allah said in the Quran, Allah will never punish people until the proof has been explained to them. Meaning that if someone makes sense to him, is clear to him, then he turn away, reject it. Then the day of resurrection, don't blame no one except yourself.
So I'm in trouble, right? I'm in trouble.
Big trouble.
I'm in trouble. Why'd you tell me that?
I'll tell you, it's good to be honest with the people, correct?
Yeah.
I can do what? I tell you, you're okay, and I leave. But as a person with a good morals, I like to be honest with you. I'm not forcing you. Likewise, what I'm doing, I'm reminding you. Don't be busy with this life. It's good. Allah told us in the Quran, take your portion from this life. Because Islam, let me clarify something to people. What is worship in Islam? Worship in Islam does not mean stay in the mosque 24 hours. No. Looking after your mother is worship. Looking after the environment is worship. Looking after animals is worship. Making things for human beings to aid them with their life is worship. You see what I'm saying? So worship in Islam doesn't mean stay in the mosque. Also, remember the main goal, which is what? To meet your Creator. Okay? It was very nice talking to you.
For sure.
Go on, you want to say something?
Everything you said makes perfect sense.
Is there any leaflet you'll have or something?
I can't argue with any of your logic, but that's coming from a place of not really caring that much about specific doctrine. Like I don't personally care about doctrine that much.
Now, this is do your research. It took me about 4 years before I converted. I was in your position, Catholic as well, except I knew a little bit more. I was altar server, I did everything. I went to college, I'm graduating now, and eventually I got to that point where I learned enough and I said, you know what, I accept this.
I mean, my parents were born atheists,
Right.
and they didn't like religion. And throughout their life, you know, they came to that moment where they, you know, they did all their research. They did all their research. They cared about what they were doing, and then now they're extremely hardcore Christians.
You know.
And so I don't.
That is a gift for me. As Persian from Britain, I met you the first time. That is a nice book. Jesus in Islam, Christianity, and the Jewish Talmud. So he's going to tell you how the Christian believe with the sources, and you can check it.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you very much
Yeah.
for stopping and talking to me. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Look out.